Right, good evening. Before we get started, I am going to avoid the mistake I made last night where I recorded 45 minutes of video and my microphone was off. So I'm just gonna check in a very rudimentary way. And look, I know that there are easier ways to do this, but my dream is working. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to log into the other account and then your channel and this thing should be so much easier to see a video that is currently running. Okay, there we go. So okay, we've got voice. So I'm gonna log out of that and okay, so thank you if you're watching or if you do eventually watch this video. Yesterday night, yesterday being Thursday night, the 22nd of September, I got onto my rig and I recorded some video. And I spoke about why I'm live on YouTube on my PlayStation. And there was no audio. Well, there was audio, but there was no microphone audio. But I've checked it's working today. And yes, it works. So, I have been invited by the Automobile and Touring Club of Nigeria to represent Nigeria at the 2023 FIA Motorsport Games in the esports category. I will be the first person in history to represent Nigeria at this event. For me, I am immensely humbled to be in this position. I'm not a pro sim racer, and I don't expect to come first. It would be nice, but I don't think so. But what I do expect to do, and this is the reason I'm doing this, I do expect to drive interest in sim racing amongst Nigerian people, young and old, boys and girls. Anybody who wants to race can race for significantly less financial outlay than it costs to get a car and take it to the track. You need a PlayStation, you need a racing rig that includes a steering wheel, a seat, pedals. You need an internet connection. You could also race on PC, although you do have some, well, I'd say more complicated specifications that you'd have to ensure that your PC is capable of in order to race on PC. But information is all on the internet. The internet is free, and you can do the research to find out what racing on PC is all about, if that's the path that you wish to take. Many people will choose to race on console, be it PS4, PS5, Xbox, and what have you. But my interest is to drive a desire amongst Nigerians to come to the table of motorsport. Sim racing is a bona fide access route into motorsport, because sitting here behind a wheel and pedals on a simulator cockpit is close to the real thing. The only difference being, first of all, it's a lot less risky and costly, and also you don't get the forces as much in any sim racing setup as you'd get in a real car. So of course I've got my force feedback steering wheel. There are force feedback pedals as well that you can get out there that will simulate brake resistance and brake judder, etc. I even saw one that works off a hydraulic system with proper brake fluid. I thought that was a bit overkill, but there you go. Yeah, and when I asked why, they said because if you want to get an authentic feeling, then you use an authentic system. So imagine topping up your brake fluid when you switch on your PlayStation. Anyway, that's I digress there. If you want to get into sim racing, there are many resources online. The next thing is to, once you've secured a rig and a platform to play on, that's the whether it's PlayStation or Xbox or PC, then you need a racing title. If you want to race in FIA races at this time, Assetto Corsa Competizione is your title. The FIA 2022 Motorsport Games esports will be done in Assetto Corsa, and this is why I'm in Assetto Corsa today. Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now, like I said, and like you may have seen in some of my recent videos, I am not a pro sim racer, but I do know my way around a track, and I hope to be able to drive a competitive time and also competitive consistency between now and when the games start. But most importantly, I hope to drive interest in motorsport amongst Nigerians, amongst Africans, and I hope that this will be a positive experience for such people. Now, for me, yes, of course, there is an interest in getting some sponsorship to take part in this sim racing opportunity, and I welcome sponsors, whether it be in Nigerian products that wish to get their brand out there, or in suppliers of sim racing equipment that would like to break into the Nigerian market. It would be welcome. So yeah, reach out. Personally, I am not based in Nigeria. That's my upfront disclosure. I am of Nigerian origin, and all you need to take part is Nigerian citizenship, which I have. At the end of the day, I say again, this is not about me. This is about people who will be inspired by seeing somebody who potentially looks like them, potentially sounds like them, and I can switch that accent so I don't just sound like well, some people say I sound American, some Americans say I sound British, I don't know, but I can start to speak Niger, and you see, I can actually start to break it down for you that, guys, sim racing is exciting. Get involved. You know, motorsport is exciting. If any of you know my friend Bamidele Fadimilui, who has spearheaded some really fascinating motorsport opportunities in Nigeria, until he unfortunately had an accident and had to leave the country, you will know that there is a lot of value in this space. It doesn't have to be only on TV that we watch these things. We can also get involved in this stuff. You know, we can have Nigerian, you know, motorsport professionals, people who, you know, are popular on the world stage. And it's not just the popularity, it's also the technical expertise that it can bring to our own soil. You know, when people take a car out and race, they are effectively testing this car at its extremes. And if we can do that, then we take what we've learned back to the drawing board. It furthers our own bid to develop our own cars. So, look, get involved in sim racing. If you love cars, if you play video games, stop playing FIFA, please. Stop playing Call of Duty. All of these things, they don't really translate to real life. But with sim racing, you are driving a car. The only thing is, you're not really driving a car. All of the race car drivers in F1 and Formula 2 and in GT3 racing, all over the world, they practice on a simulator, they practice on track, and all of the cars that we have designed today now, they are also tested on a simulator. So racing simulation is very valid in development, in motorsport, and now even you have racing simulation valid as entertainment in your home. I got into sim racing for entertainment purposes. I was not planning to come and represent Nigeria on the international stage. And then I got a call from the Automobile and Touring Club of Nigeria, and that was really great for me to get that call to represent our country. So yes, a huge thank you to Ishaku Bamei and the ATCN. A huge thanks to Bamidele Fadimilui, who remembered me when he was talking to Ishaku that, yeah, I know one guy that is racing Assetto Corsa. Because Assetto Corsa was not common. It was only when, well, people know it. It's not that they don't know it, but when you hear sim racing, people want to think Gran Turismo first. But now that Assetto Corsa is the flag-bearing sim racing title for the FIA, there's more interest in Assetto Corsa. So get a copy of Assetto Corsa, not just the standard Assetto Corsa Competizione. Get it and start practicing, start getting involved, do races online, and improve your driver rating. For me, like I said, until I got this call, I was really just a Sunday sim racer. Every now and then I'll turn on my PlayStation, have a bit of a game, or play on my PC, and you know, it was just something to have fun. But now it's getting serious. So I really would love for Nigerians to get involved, and I'm particularly interested in girls getting involved in sim racing, because sim racing, automotive engineering, is not just for the boys. It's something that anybody can do. So please reach out to me if it's something that interests you. I will be running these practice sessions and streaming them every day. I'll be here every day between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock to just have a little run on my rig before I go to bed, get some practice in, and hopefully drive some interest. Hopefully I get some people reaching out to me, how do I get into this, and I can put you in touch with people in Lagos that will help you bring the stuff in if ordering it is a challenge. Also, what you can do is find a welder or a carpenter to build you a rig. You don't have to buy a rig. You can buy the steering wheel and pedal, and then get a car seat from the scrapyard, and then a carpenter can build you your racing rig. You know, just look online. There are so many things that you can find. It doesn't have to be that you go and buy something from a shop and then pay heaven and earth to ship it to Nigeria. So please, I think it's really, really amazing. It's a really amazing opportunity, at least for me, to get involved in the FIA 2022 Motorsport Games in France at the Paul Ricard track. That will be in October, from the 26th to the 30th of October, just next month. I don't have much time to practice, but yeah, I think I can try. So I'm gonna get into the drive now. I see a few people are starting to log in. Please be logging in, share with your friends. If you're not Nigerian, you're welcome. Please watch. If you know Nigerians, invite them to come and watch. Let them know that somebody is doing sim racing on YouTube. A Nigerian guy that's doing sim racing on YouTube. So please, subscribe, bookmark the page, and tune in. So let's get onto the track. And so I have a bit of a conundrum, if I'm very honest with you. My favorite car in Assetto Corsa Competizione is the Bentley Continental GT. I absolutely love this car, and this is why I've got my racing team set up. My sons' names are put in there as the other drivers, and the name of the racing team is Ekeri Egba. Or I'm sure somebody will tell me that I've not pronounced that properly, Ekeri Egba, because I'm an Egba man from Abeokuta. And but I really love my Bentley. But I'm wondering, is it something that Nigerians can identify with? Should I rather be driving a Mercedes-Benz, which I'm very sure that most people will be familiar with? So I've been practicing with the Mercedes, but tonight I think I'm going to drive the Bentley. So let's go. Let's take our car out. Let's get into this, confirm, and yes, we are at the Paul Ricard racetrack in France, and we're just going to do some practice sessions. Well, a practice session, run a few laps, and then just see how it's going, see the drive. And my current time on Paul Ricard is my current best time is 1:59. Now I have two objectives. I want to bring that time down to, by the time I'm going to this race, 1:55. I'm going to turn this volume down because I think it is a bit too loud. Shout out to my wife who is watching downstairs. Thank you, Princess, for the support. I am just going to see if I can turn the volume down. Let's see. Sound, music. Anyway, okay, so now let's look at the setup. I want to go with an aggressive preset, and okay, let's do that. We'll come back and look at some setups later. If anybody has any advice of setups that I should try out, then please let me know what you think. But right now, I'm just gonna get onto the track and go for a drive. So I just love the sound of this engine. It's the best soundtrack in this game. Now the corner I'm coming up to at Paul Ricard is a very, very high-speed corner. You can see I'm running about 260 kilometers an hour, 270, and this is a gear 5 corner. So I just stab on the, oh, and I've lost it. I went too wide. So what I normally like to do is when I start driving, I take it a little bit easy, but this Bentley is getting into my head and I'm really, really loving this car. Nigerians will say that the car is shocking me. It's shocking me. Now, with this corner, this high-speed corner, I'm gonna take it a little bit more conservatively this time. At least let me get round it. I've been practicing with the Mercedes, so I think I'm a bit more used to that, but let's see if I can get used to this corner in my favorite car, the Bentley Continental GT. So, I think my time there was about 2 minutes two. Yeah, you can see it down on the bottom right hand corner. 2 minutes 2.8. I am at least 7 seconds off where I want to be. And to start with, I think I did feel I was very conservative with some of those corners. I could have pushed them a bit more, but I think it's better that I feed into that. I get myself really used to the car and the track before I start trying to push those crazy speeds. I think that's the way that I will get really, really fully used to driving at such pace. I don't think it can come at once, especially as I'm not a pro sim racer. There are some guys that can come in here and give you 10 straight clean laps, 152, 153 seconds, and they will not flinch. They will just be going, 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 going. And yeah, that would be a dream. If I can get in 155, 150, 154 to 156, I think that would be a really good improvement on where I am now. So 2 minutes and 2.8 is where we are now, not where we want to be. We'll keep trying, and we'll keep pushing. Tonight I will drive for about an hour. What time is it? It is now 20 past 11. So I will stop at about midnight because I've been on for a few minutes. But next time I think I will come in for about 8:30, start driving, maybe put in about 2 hours of solid practice. So the next thing I'm also going to look at is some techniques that I can find on the internet, how some of these corners are attacked. We'll sit down on what's it called, on the laptop. I'll do a live session. I'll invite my friends Bamidele and Folabi, who are both sim racers, Nigerian sim racers, to come and analyze some videos with me and see how I can also start to operate at that level. So I think that will be interesting. I think that will be nice. But let's get on. Let's see how this this practice session goes this evening. I expect a few spins, but who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised, and I might just break that time into 158 because I've been driving the Mercedes, which I'm not really familiar with. All of my time playing Gran Turismo Assetto Corsa Competizione for the last 2 years, I think, has been on the Bentley. I only drive the Bentley. It's only when I started this practice to get something that was a bit more familiar to Nigerian society, I thought maybe I'd take a Mercedes. But yeah, let's see what sort of time I can post in this Bentley tonight. If I can break my fastest time of 159, I think it was 300. Let's see. But we're going to do a few laps. So it's not going to happen. Well, I don't know. It might. But I'm not expecting it to happen in the next lap. Just keep trying and keep pushing and see what I can do. But I want to try and also focus on doing some consistent good laps. Stay on the track. Don't cut corners. And just see if I can get, consistent good laps that are competitive times. So let's keep driving.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
I feel like I can be faster in that chicane. And just like that, I've cut off exactly 2 seconds. This car is my future. I think this car is definitely my future. I really, really love driving this car, and I feel like it's all coming back to me. There was a time last year when I feel like I was really starting to get good, and it was just out of practice and really, really driving and really, really enjoying myself. And I spent a lot of time driving at Misano, another one of the tracks here. Misano is in Italy, not too far away from where Bamidele lives. And yeah, he has actually driven on that track. And it's a very lovely track. And this Bentley, the sound you hear, the sound of the engine just roaring around that road and around that track, and the exhilaration you get negotiating those corners, it's just something else. It's really nice. So 2 minutes and 8, exactly 2 seconds better than my last time, and I'm still feeling like some of those corners I can push them better than that. Now, there's another possibility that I'm thinking. My hesitation to push harder in the corners, maybe that can be helped by introducing a little bit more traction control. My traction control is currently set at 2. If I dial it up a little bit to 3, well, not 3. I mean, there's not much margin there. If I dial that traction control up to maybe 4 or 5, it could make the car more stable and retain some speed. Of course, I'm not going to increase it up to full whack, because then it will start limiting the car from accelerating out of corners, and then I'll start losing time that way. So we'll keep going like this. There was a time I used to run this car without traction control, and I got good then. And then, of course, pressures of life. I've got 3 kids. Just meant that I couldn't play as much as I wanted to, and yeah, you start to get rusty. You start to get rusty because we don't drive like this on the road every day, so you do lose some of that muscle memory. I think something else that I just want to throw out there. There are a lot of people who think you have to spend a whole lot of money on race kit. So getting the best direct drive steering wheel, the best load cell pedal box. Now, look, I would love to get a direct drive wheel and load cell pedal box. But there are so many pro drivers that are delivering stunning laps on a Logitech G27 or Logitech G29 or a Thrustmaster T150. You don't have to you don't have to have a Fanatec to be really good. Now, it does help. It does help if you have some good kit. And I'll be honest with you, my best experience driving has been on a racing rig that had a Fanatec wheel and pedal set. Actually, I think the pedals on that rig were Heusings. That's another high-end pedal set designer. They only do pedals. And what was particularly interesting about that rig was that it was a motion rig. So it had, I think, 3 degrees of freedom. So it could tilt left and right. It could heave and squat Could it be that it was only two? No, and it could also um, go up and down. So yeah, it was 3 degrees of freedom. The additional 3 degrees that it couldn't give were what's it called now? Yaw control, slide, and there's another one. I think I can't remember the name now, where you are shunted forward or pushed backwards as you accelerate. So the 3 degrees of freedom systems, they simulate that by leaning you backwards, but actually it's a straightforward backwards motion. I forget all these terminologies, although I shouldn't, because I just wrote a master's around these topics last year. But anyway, you don't need to get the best kit. You can actually deliver some really good times on a cheap Logitech G29 or a cheap Thrustmaster T150. If that's all your hand can reach, as Nigerians would say, then yes, get one of those. So 2 minutes and 800ths of a second. Let's keep pushing, and let's see how we get on tonight in this Bentley. Okay, I'm gonna keep quiet and just drive, which I'm sure you've been waiting for me to do.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
The rear end there, but I managed to save it. But I've now lost about half a second, maybe even more, 600ths of a second, just by losing that rear end. But again, it speaks of the fact that I'm so used to driving this car that can happen, and I will not lose the car completely. Did you see how I threw it away at that last corner? I was on course to almost equaling my 159.300, but I've managed 2 minutes and 200 because I threw the last corner away. Wow. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. We keep going.
Well done, mate. This has been a whistle race.
So, I've just seen a message from Bamidele, and I'm gonna check that. Comment he's put on the video. I should stiffen the anti-roll bar. Let's see. Entertainment, YouTube, and this stream. Try increase rear toe in and stiffen the front anti-roll bar. Okay. Increase rear toe in and stiffen front. Okay. I will exit and do that. Thank you, Bami. I will. Let's do that. Let's go and. Actually, I didn't need to quit, did I? I could have just. Sorry, never mind. Okay, setup. Current setup. Rear toe in. Gonna send Bamidele a WhatsApp. What does he think I should put on the rear toe in? Bami, how much rear toe in? Okay, and let's look at that front anti-roll bar. Was it the front? I think it was the front. Yes. So I think I've seen somebody running this front anti-roll bar on 7, but I'll just leave it at 6 for now. And has he come back to me on the toe in? No, he hasn't. Bami, look at your WhatsApp. Okay, it's 0.05 now. Yes, red toe in is 0.05. And he's typing. And my phone goes off. Front anti-roll bar is 6. I'm going to... I can't get a response. I'll just try this out. He suggested I should increase it. Let's put it up to 0.1 and see what we get there. Okay, so drive.
Green light. Go, go, go.
That actually feels better. So that was definitely better as an outlap. And then I threw it away there. Bamidele, I've seen your messages. I'll implement that in a moment. So let's go back to the garage and change this setup as Bami suggested. Put 0.15 degrees on the rear toe in. And stiffen the front anti-roll bar to 7. Okay, now let's get back on the road and see what that does. Continue. Ooh. This feels very nice. The handling feels really nice after those changes. So Bamidele, thank you. Let's see if we can break that 159.3. Obviously not on this lap because this is an out lap. Let's try and make this a good one. I braked too early there. I braked too early there. And then I threw it all away. Now, that error that I made on that first corner, if I hadn't made that error, if you look at the top left of the screen, I'm now a second faster than what I did earlier, which was 2 minutes and 1. So without that error, just imagine where we would be. this is what I'm talking about, concentration. I lost concentration there because I was looking at the time counter. And I need to focus on the lap, and we'll get the time after the lap. So there's a whole lot more than just knowing how to take corners, when to turn in, etc. If you lose concentration, you will forget that you're in a high-speed situation that requires your reflexes. Alright, so let's try and do this with laser focus. Okay, Bunny, okay. Bloody hell. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Oh. Oh, look at that. Five minutes past 12. I'm gonna put in one more lap after this, and then that will be it for the night. Final lap of the night. Let's make this one count. Did I say final lap? Final few laps? Right, I think I'm going to call it a night here. But before I go, I'm going to do a quick personal analysis of where I might have got Paul Ricard wrong. So let's just look at the map that we've got here. Paul Ricard going into so which way are we going? Let me try and remember. Yeah, so on the screen that you're looking at from right to left, essentially we're going clockwise around this track. First corner, second corner, that's the first chicane. I'm definitely losing some speed there. I definitely think, I need to attack that first corner right so that I can have my positioning correct to give it a bit more throttle on that second corner, the exit part of the chicane. Full throttle through the next gentle corners. There's the second chicane there. It's the same thing again. Your positioning at the start of that chicane will determine how well you do. And then there's a sharp exit, and there's a hairpin at the exit of that second chicane, and then there's this one of those corners that probably has multiple apexes. You don't really know where to position the car without a whole load of practice, but definitely need to be in position for the left hand gentle bend so that can be full throttle, of course, all the way down the straight. And then that high speed fifth gear corner, again, how much do you have the guts to attack it with? Of course, in the qualifier, you can try and throw more at it, but definitely in a race, you want to be a bit more conservative. So, there's a long multiple apex corner after that, and then one of these corners where you're banking to the left and then it suddenly hooks really sharply into the turn. And I think there are 3 of these sorts of corners. So the first one is the first corner after that high speed fifth gear corner, the furthest right on the screen. That corner is the first one where you're gently going round and then suddenly it hooks into the right, and then the same thing to the left, gently going round, then suddenly hooks to the left, and same thing for the final corner, for the penultimate corner before you take the final hairpin. So those corners, your positioning needs to be really, really good. You can really throw more at it than you think, and then ready on your brakes for when it goes sharply around the corner. This thing is building up it's all about building up confidence, and that's something that I've got to do in the coming weeks before I go to Paul Ricard in person. So that's the end of my stream. I'll just reiterate that I'm doing this not because I think I'm some great sim racing driver, and I know I don't need to explain this, but I really want to focus my flashlight on the fact that this is for the purpose of inspiring young children to come out, get their, well, you don't need a helmet for sim racing, but get their gloves on, get their sim socks or whatever shoes you wear while you're racing, get them on, get onto your rig and drive. It's a common hobby, pastime in this country. My neighbor's 13-year-old son sim races. So there's no time that is too early. My 4-year-old boy wants to sim race. My 7-year-old boy sim races already. Just the middle boy that I'm not so sure, where he came from, because he doesn't seem to like cars. I don't know. Strange, eh? But yes, it's never too early. So if you're a Nigerian parent and this comes to you, put a racing simulator in your kid's hand, especially if they are already playing Call of Duty or FIFA. This is not to take anything away from those games. They are fantastic things to play, but sim racing is something that teaches you a real skill, racing skill. There's a craft about motorsport, and you can learn it on a racing simulator. So yeah, I think that's it from me today. Please feel free to get in touch if you would like to talk to me about my entry into the 2022 FIA Motorsport Games. Like I say, I'm looking for sponsorship. If your brand would like to sponsor us, or you'd like to in some way get involved, let me know. So I am going to drop out for the night. Thank you for watching. I've had a few people dropping in and dropping out over the course of the evening, and I'll be back again tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow. If I can get the laundry done early in the morning, I will be on the rig during the day, but definitely will be on the rig in the evening. So that's it from me. Have a lovely evening. Good night. I shall stop the broadcast now.